The UK Prime Minister visits the White House with support for Ukraine topping his agenda. It comes after Russian strikes kill at least 11 civilians in a key area of northern Ukraine. Plus, thousands of Boeing employees are on strike in another setback for the aerospace giant amid major financial losses.
Kamala Harris and Donald Trump continue to make their respective cases to voters. We'll assess another tumultuous week in the US presidential election campaign. For Trump, concerns over the level of crime remain a focus. BBC Verify will assess the statistics he's pointing to. In North Dakota, a judge has struck down an abortion ban that was passed last year. A leading pollster will examine how important this issue is to voters. And then there's fracking. As Trump highlights Harris's shift in position on this, we'll unpack why fracking matters politically.
Our headlines today. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said the next few weeks and months could be crucial for the war in Ukraine after holding talks with President Biden at the White House.
An 18-year-old is arrested on suspicion of murder after the death of 3 people at a flat in Luton.
2 astronauts stranded in space until next year say they've learned to expect the unexpected as they wait to return to Earth.
To 8 days to 8 months or 9 months or 10 months, whatever it is, we're going to do the very best job we can do every single day, because that's what the folks that do this type of job have to do.
Now, here's a question for you. How young is too young to own a smartphone? Research from the regulator Ofcom has found that nearly a quarter of children aged between 5 and 7 in the UK have their own smartphones, with access to things like games, apps and social media. And they are using social media more, with nearly 2 in 5 of that age group now saying that they have accounts. It's up nearly 10% on the year before. The most popular app, well, that's WhatsApp, followed by TikTok and then Instagram. That's despite the minimum age of those apps being 13. Some parents in Shropshire are concerned that smartphones could be bad for their children's development. So they've decided to test out phones that have no access to the internet.
Let's take a look at some of the front pages. The Times is reporting that Ukraine's President Zelensky has questioned the UK and America and United States' commitment to supporting his country against Russia. His comments came before Sir Keir Starmer met President Joe Biden in Washington, where they discussed the conflict.
The Eye newspaper says there's been a surge in people paying for private healthcare. That's after what it says is them losing patience with longer NHS waiting lists. Well, the Mirror, it leads on the funeral of the former England manager Sven-Göran Eriksson. That took place in his native Sweden yesterday. The picture there, David Beckham laying a hand on the coffin, and in a different image, appearing to wipe away a tear.
The Express has room on its front page for this picture of Claudia Winkleman and Tess Daly as a new series of Strictly Come Dancing begins this evening. New guidelines will be in place to protect the welfare of contestants. What have you spotted?
So some breaking scientific news for you this morning. So, you know, if you're on a night out and you're having a few drinks and you might think that, like, a glass of water, and then when you get home at the end of the night before you go to bed, you down a big glass of water to make sure that you're not hungover the morning after.
Yes.
All rubbish. Doesn't work, apparently.
Oh.
New study.
It's good for you, though, isn't it?
Well, I think it probably helps in that you drink a bit less because you've kind of got a glass of water in your hand rather than another glass of wine.
After a night out, you go back and then drink another glass of wine.
Depends how good the night is, doesn't it? But apparently drinking water at night before doesn't help. So this is a study from a university in the Netherlands, and they looked at it, and yes, it might make you feel a little less dehydrated, but it doesn't help with your hangover, it doesn't help with the pain, and doesn't help with the exhaustion, whether you drink water or not. So what should you do? It doesn't actually say. That's the crucial failing in this research. It doesn't actually tell you what the answer is. But there's some amazing statistics in it that suggest that in the UK, as many as 89,000 people a day turn up to work with a hangover. Ooh. 89,000 people. I mean, that's quite a party country, isn't it?
How did they even get to that statistic? Who would even admit to being at work with a hangover?
That's a very good point. Maybe the numbers are much higher than the statistics.
Do you know what is a lovely cure for a hangover?
Go on.
Fish finger sandwich.
Ah, yes.
We agree.
Yes,
we agree.
Totally.
So, in the Telegraph today, it's found from this survey, 4 in 10 people only eat fish if it's in batter or breadcrumbs.
So we can't eat real fish. It has to be.
No, it has to be battered or breadcrumbs. And more than half of those surveyed didn't realise that John Dory is a type of fish. 12%, 1 in 10 of them, confused the prize sea fish with a famous poet.
We're not painting a very good picture of the country, are we? That everyone's at work hungover and no one knows anything about fish.
And they just want them if it's, well, 4 out of 10 want them if it's battered or in breadcrumbs.
I mean, it is the best way to eat it, frankly.
No, it's not.
Don't all write in an email.
It's not.
It is. Fish finger
Look,
sandwich.
here we go. 2 different views.
Fish
It's
and
fine.
chips.
We've covered both sides, OK?